Okay, this is supposed to be a demo of how we can make the actual images to use for the on and off settings of our 7-segment display for Project 1 in CS1124 in winter 2024. Okay, here we go. I think we're recording I Want Paint. Remember Paint? You did use Paint, right, in the lab to reduce the images and crop them and all that. I'm going to use it to make images from scratch, if I can see what I'm doing here. I want to make sure I go to Select, 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 and I want the rectangular select function because these segments are all going to be rectangular. Cool how that works out, huh? And now I'm going to hold down the mouse, start up here in the corner, hold down the mouse, and I was supposed to be dragging it. That didn't work. Undo. Let me try that again. In the corner. Ah, there it is. Can you see the dotted rectangle up there? Okay, when I do that, that looks like a pretty good segment right there. So I'll let go of the mouse, and now I have a rectangle. Except if I save it, it's going to save the image as this entire screen. So I go up here to crop. When I click on crop, watch what happens. Boop. Now I've got a segment. And believe it or not, that's all I need for my segment 0. That's the one that does not show up. So now I've got to go to, I know you're there somewhere, File, Save As, and still, please, oh please, go right for the middle, a bitmap picture. That's what it has to be able to use it in MMLogic. And oh my goodness, don't save it in the iPad class. Go to 1124, and I'm going to make a new folder just for Project 1. Put on my whoops, wrong keyboard, and put all my files in there. Project1. What a good example I'm trying to be. There, now I'm in Project 1, and I'm saving this as untitled bitmap. No. Does anybody remember the conventions we've got to use when we name our bitmaps? Yes. You're in 21, 24. Oh. Good catch, thank you. So let's not save it there. Let's save it here. New folder. Project1. Now then, thank you so much. It's just itching to save it as a .bmp file, which is good. But how do we have to do the names for the on and off pictures in MMLogic? Some file name with a 0, and then for the 1 image, what do we use? The same name. Exactly, letter for letter, capitalized the same way and everything. I would keep it all in lowercase, but it's got to be exactly the same one, same thing, except a 1 at the end. So this is going to be my 0 image, since that'll be the invisible one, and I'll call this, what is this? This is horizontal. I'll call this HSEG 0. That got a little complicated. I can't see it, but I meant to name it HSEG 0. Is that what it says? HX0 dot BMP. Can't see the dot. It looks like, is there a dot after it?
Yeah. No. Now you're missing the.
Welcome to my world. This is not fun. HSEG0.BMP. Please save. Get out of here. Okay. Now, there's horizontal segment 0. How do I make a 1 that will show up? Well, if you surf around these little icons up here, there's a paint bucket. Someone's spilling a paint bucket. If you click on that and then choose a color, pick a color, any color. What color do you like? I heard more than one. I heard yellow, but the reason I'm going to stay away from yellow is it's low contrast. Please, for my benefit and possibly for yours as well, choose something that shows up better on a white background. Unless you're going to do yellow and change the background to black. You could do that. That would show up. What's another color aside from yellow?
Blue.
Blue. Now watch what happens. The current color changed to blue. I've got the paint bucket selected. If I click inside the rectangle, look at that paint bucket. Boop. Da-da-da. And it's exactly the same size and orientation and everything as my segment 0. So this is going to be File, Save As, Bitmap Picture. And this one, I've already got HSEG 0 No, no, no. I want this to be hseg1. And that is all I'm changing about the file name. It has to go in the same folder, the correct folder, and there it goes. How are we doing so far? Now, is there a question? Okay. Not only did I just finish the images we need for segment 0, I also finished the images we need for segment 3 and for segment 6. You can use the same ones. I mean, it's just horizontal segments, and you'll have a blue number when you put them all together. What do we not have? We don't have vertical segments. Oh, so we come up here. Yes.
How do you differentiate between 0, 3, and 6 if all? I mean, if 3 and 6, if both of them are just blue horizontal segments.
Well, remember 0, 3, and 6, when you're working on each one of those, they are blissfully unaware of the other two. They don't know anything about it. So when you're working on segment 0 and go through all of this for segment 0, you're going to use our 0 and 1 pictures that we just now made for your segment 0 output. Not a crowd and a single person like majority. The output instead will be solid blue for 1 and white for off. That's segment 0. Okay? Now I'm done. I finished it. Segment 0 works great. It shows up blue when it shouldn't, and it shows up as white, which I can't see when it should. Now let's work on segment 3. And I go through all the truth table and the K-map and everything for segment 3. Now I'm ready to put the output on the screen. I can use exactly the same images because when I'm doing the circuitry logic, if you go back and think about what's going on in that addition problem, that's part of the reason that's required watching for the lab tomorrow. Don't forget there's a quiz on that at the beginning of the lab period. I reuse zeros and ones all over the place. I've got exactly one image that I use. I've got exactly one 0 image that I use. And they play the role of top bit, bottom bit, sum bit, carry in, carry out. All of those use the same images for zeros and ones. Is that addressing your question at all? How are we going to know which is which? We know which is which by which receiver arrow is going into the bitmap, and that's how it's going to know. What we don't have, there's a missing piece, so let me get this done. Oh, we got plenty of time. I almost clicked on the wrong thing. I'm glad I didn't. Thank you for stopping me. I don't want these. That means undo, and I don't want to undo. I like what I've done. I want to go to rotate. I want to rotate. I think I could use more than one of these, but watch what happens. Rotate to the right 90 degrees. Does that look like anything that we might find useful? I'll suggest that, yeah, we could use that as our vertical segment 1 when we want to see the 1 output for a vertical segment, which is all the others. Oh, goodness gracious. 1, 2, 4, and 5. This is actually the one we'll be using tomorrow for segment 5. Now, you can get wild and crazy. I know you remember looking on the back of the sheet of Project 1. There's a little bit of wildness and craziness going on there. You can download images. And just like we did for majority function, you can download bitmap images and use those. But please make sure they look like segments. It needs to look like something standing up, and it needs to look like something sideways for the horizontal segment. I have seen some wildly creative ones. The neon lights was one. Someone else did the Leonardo da Vinci thing of the man with his arms out and everything. Had a little bit of obscenity in it, but we let that slide because it was creative. But file, let me get this done. File, save as the middle one. And this one, now I've got to change the name. This is going to be, it's still a 1, but what I want to change here, this is not H, this is V. This is vseg1.bitmap, vertical seg1. Does everybody see what I'm doing here? This will save it as yet another image. Oh no, how do I go to segment 0? I go to the paint bucket again. But this time I'm going to, I guess, wash all the paint off. I'm at the paint bucket already, and I'm going to choose white. There's more than one place I could choose it, I guess. Well, that didn't work. Let me try that again. Hey.
It needs to be on color 1.
Needs to be on.
You have to change color 1 back to white for the full bucket to work.
Thank you. You get 1 brownie point. When you get 1,000,000 of those, you get a free Lego minifigure. Keep counting. File, save as, and you tell me this time, my brain is fried. What do we want to save that up and down white rectangle as? VSEG0. Thank you very much. You are exactly right. Okay. Who has a question about Paint before I shut down Paint? I'm shutting down Paint. Let me go to the folder for this class, not the other class. And looky there, look there. Let me change the view so we can actually see the segments maybe. I don't see. There is a view someplace, isn't there? Oh, it's up here. Looky there. They're showing us the 4 segments. I don't even have to open Paint again. Here is my horizontal segment 0, horizontal segment 1, vertical segment 0, vertical segment 1. And if you get 4 segments like that you're really happy with and you're not going to try to go crazy with bells and whistles and do all kinds of neon signs and everything, then when you get these 4 done, that's all you need for all of project 1. And by all you need, I mean all you need in the way of bitmaps. You still got some K maps to work on, but for bitmaps for the images, this set of 4, that's enough. That's all you got. Those are the only bitmap images we'll need for project 1. Okay? Who has a question on this part? I always do that. I always say who has a question, and then I don't give you any seconds or microseconds at all to actually ask a question. Who has a question? Okay, that's sufficient microseconds. I would recommend, if you do have time, your leisure time, since the Super Bowl's over and you've already cleaned up after the party and everything, you could go ahead and do the bitmaps today. Even if you don't have any clue what the heck this business is. I will try to help you reach enlightenment about all this stuff tomorrow during our lab period. But if you understood what I did here with the horizontal and vertical segments, what we did as a class together, then you can go ahead and do those. Then you've already got your bitmaps done and you don't have to worry about those. You'll have stuff you can use for your segment 5, for example, tomorrow for our lab. All I got to do is figure out how to shut down the video. Oh, that's easy. Anything else? And cut.